I think you're really dope with Eric Nam.
Well, I'm super excited to have this amazing artist, actress, host, author, person, human being here.
Yes.
If you don't know who she is, you're going to have your mind blown because she's incredible. If you do, hopefully we have a conversation that leaves you with something like you didn't know about her before. Today's guest is Agnez Mo.
What's good?
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I feel like we've known each other for what, like 2 years?
For a few years.
For a few years now, but this is the first time that we
Have met.
Exactly. So that's
crazy.
That's kind of crazy.
But thanks for making time. I know you're crazy busy.
I mean, we're both busy, so
just life,
so thanks
you know.
for thanks for making this time too for this conversation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, okay. I don't want to undersell what you do at all.
Mm-hmm.
But like, you do everything. So I guess what I like to do in this situation is I like to ask our guests to introduce themselves. How do you like to be introduced and represented?
Oh, that's actually deeper than you thought it is. I don't know. I just feel like I know that a lot of people would think I'm a celebrity or a public figure, which I am, but I think I look at myself more of an artist than a celebrity.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because everything that I do, it's always about my art.
Mm-hmm.
I care a lot
Right.
about my art. And just a human being in general who care about, like real stuff. Can
Just
we
genuine.
curse in the
Yes,
podcast?
you can say whatever you want.
I just feel like I care about real shit.
There you go.
You know what I mean? Like, and I think that's the reason why I'm good at what I do, because I really care about it. It's not just about, let's just making something that people can relate to. Let's just put out something
it has to be true to you.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. And I think that's the reason why my fans love me for that authenticity. Yeah, so that's me.
Well, we're going to jump into that authenticity in just a moment. So for people who are not very familiar with Agnez, you are originally from Indonesia.
Yes.
You're born and raised in Jakarta.
Born and raised in Jakarta.
Right.
Yeah.
I also saw your parents, you're
So basically,
Explain this to us.
Mixed.
Right.
So Japanese, German, Chinese. So
Wow.
that's basically my heritage,
Okay.
right? And I'm Christian. What else? I started singing when I was 3 or 4 years old at
and you
church.
put out a single, like
Yeah.
a song when you were what, like 6?
Yeah. So
That's
my first
crazy.
album.
How did that happen?
I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know.
Mom and
'cause-
Dad were like, she's great. We're just gonna get her out there.
No, so I think if I'm not mistaken, this is what my mom told me earlier, like back in the day.
Yeah.
When I was I think 4 or 5 years old.
Yeah.
I've always loved singing, acting, dancing, and all that. And of course, my mom was like, "Oh, you know what? Let's just put her in, kind of like the after-school programs,
Yeah.
right?" And there was a talent search, if I'm not mistaken. And one of the ladies came to my mom and said, "Hey, I want to."
Sign your daughter.
I want to sign your daughter. Your daughter needs to put out an album. And my mom was like, "No, she's 5. Thank you very much. Calm down."
So at 6,
6.
we gave it a full year.
Exactly.
And at 6, we did it.
That's exactly what happened.
Oh my gosh.
So after that, she was being persistent about it.
Yeah.
And I remember my mom asked me.
Right.
I remember being asked if I wanted to do that.
Okay.
I think that's the reason why I respect I respect how my parents has been treating me even as a child. They always ask me first, "Are you
Right.
comfortable doing this? Do you want to do this?" And of course, me, because I loved singing, I'm like, "Okay, let's do it."
Yeah.
What is an album? Like, let's just do it.
Do you
Is it food? Like, should I eat it?
Do I slap it on my face? Do I throw it? No, you sing it.
Yeah, but I remember being asked if I
Yeah.
wanted to do that, and I said yeah. And my mom always told me that, school is number one, and I'm not trying to be stereotypical, but you know how Asian parents are.
It's just the
They're
way
always
it
about,
is.
it's just the way it is. They're like, school.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it just started from there. And I think because I had no pressure, I think that's the reason why I made it until now.
Right.
Because I don't have that pressure, like, oh, I have to make it.
It was just whatever you wanted to do naturally.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's just how, because I love music.
Man, so tell me about your upbringing. So you mentioned it briefly, but you're mixed ethnically, like
Yeah.
heritage-wise.
Yeah.
You're in Jakarta. You're a Christian, and Indonesia is known to be a majority Muslim
yeah.
country.
Yeah.
Did you have any, I don't want to say difficulty, but
Yeah.
like hardship kind of growing up?
I don't think so. I mean,
No.
I've never really had any experience like that. I guess, maybe like one person or one or two people, they
Right.
might, because I remember I looked so pale back in the days.
Compared to everyone else, yeah.
But it's not like, oh, the people hated me. No,
Right.
like they really embrace, because we embrace differences. I feel like that's
Right.
our slogan, I guess, in our country is called Bhinneka Tunggal Ika, which means unity and diversity.
Come again?
And I think Bhinneka
Bhinneka
Tunggal
Tunggal
Ika.
Ika.
So that slogan means unity, or being united and diversity.
Okay, that's amazing.
And that's what my upbringing was
That's
all
great.
about,
Yeah.
And that just kind of becomes a part of me. But of course, I can't help but remembering, maybe one or two kids try to like bully me for being the lightest in the school or whatever. But it wasn't like the country. It was more just like some asshole
ignorant
kids.
Yeah.
They didn't know. They didn't know better.
Right. They're
So
your kids.
Yeah, they're kids.
Not to justify it, but they're kids.
Exactly.
And, like, they just don't know yet.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So, I mean, you kind of grew up in the limelight. You grew
Yeah.
up singing. You grew up on TV, hosting TV shows. You acted for a bit.
Yeah.
But music was always a part of it.
Yeah, music is, I guess if I have to choose, music is right there.
The big one.
The top priority.
The main one.
Yeah,
right.
the main one.
What was like a turning point for you, or like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life? And what was there a moment where this is like, your career really just kind of took off from a single song or appearance or anything like that?
I think when I was 13 or 14 years old, I took a chance on playing this really controversial role.
Oh.
So it was about a teenager who got pregnant outside of marriage, for sure. And of course, in some countries that is still considered taboo.
Very taboo, yeah.
Very taboo. And so when I took that role, and imagine this, that happened like 15 years ago. So we weren't
Right.
being, you know what I mean?
The internet was not
the
as
internet
developed.
wasn't that, and people are still kind of
Closed-minded. Right.
still narrow-minded. So
Right.
when I took that controversial role, it really opened up real discussions and real conversations.
Right.
Oh, wait, like shit like this happens.
Right, this is real life.
This is real life.
Yeah.
Nobody really talked about it, but this is what it is.
Right.
And again, not justifying it, but it's real life, right?
Right.
And I remember I won Best Actress when I was 14 years
Wow.
old, and that kind of helped, driving my
pushed you to the
career
next
and
level, yeah.
everything. And I remember I sang the theme song. So,
okay.
so that TV series really my turning point.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's super. Were
Yeah.
you I'm sure you were very nervous. What got you to take that role? Because it's not easy
Yeah, it
as a
is
13,
not.
14-year-old to say, okay, I'm going to play a
I
pregnant
think I've always
teenager.
been kind of like crazy, twisted kid, I guess. I don't know, shit. I've always been so interested in the human brain's behavior, psychological, part of human beings, even when I was a kid.
Right.
Since I was like 10, 11 years old, like I've always wanted to hear about, there's double personalities, there's Sybil, I've always been that kid. I've
Okay.
always been a nerd. Let's just say that.
So am I. The coolest kids are nerds.
Hey, you already know. Nerd at heart. So when there was that chance, of course, like my mom was the manager at the time. She discussed it with me and also my brother. And you know, we just made a decision as a family.
Yeah.
And I've always loved challenging role, and by that time I kind of already did the more, you know, pop lovey-dovey role.
Yeah.
So I think that was my time to really go
Okay.
deep into my acting skill and
Right.
challenge myself. And I think that's the reason why. But it was good though, because it really, you know, helped my career.
That's amazing. That's
Yeah.
amazing. Speaking about, you know, your family briefly, so you have a brother and a mom and dad?
Yeah.
So it's the four of you?
Yeah, four
And
of us.
were they always like very supportive of everything growing up? Or?
Yeah, because both of my parents are former national athletes.
Oh, wow.
My mom is a national champion for Indonesia.
What sport?
And table tennis.
Oh, okay.
And then my
Wow.
dad is in basketball, and he's also at the time in the number one team, I guess,
Wow.
national team. And so being supportive, I guess it's just a part of who they are.
Right. They just
you know what I mean? They just
had
have that
different
mentality.
careers and
yeah,
mentalities
but
as well.
also at the same time, integrity, you know,
Right.
a work ethic that I
Right.
learned from a lot.
Right.
And I think the reason why I feel like one of the things that I'm really proud about myself is that I'm really grounded, meaning like I'm not that, oh, don't talk to me. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm a normal person
Yeah.
that you can talk to, you know?
Yeah.
And I think the biggest part or the biggest reason is because the way that they treated me growing up, they never looked at me like, oh, she's like the diva. Oh,
Right.
she's
Treat her
famous.
special
Oh, treat her
or-
special.
right.
No, like you're my kid.
Right.
So you if you want to work, then you better have a good work ethic because you represent the family. You know what I mean? Like the dedication, the integrity, and that's what being celebrated in my family. It wasn't
Yeah.
really like the awards. It wasn't
Uh-huh.
really the money. Of course, it's good and comfortable to have
Right.
those, but it wasn't what was celebrated.
Right.
You
It's
know?
who are you as a person that was most celebrated in your family, which is great, which is amazing.
So if they say, hey, congratulations for the award, they're going to say, oh, congratulations for the award. But if I show the highest level of integrity and work ethic, then they're going to be like, I'm proud of you.
You deserve it.
You deserve it.
Right.
You know, so I think growing up, because those are the things that are being celebrated, I feel like I'm proud of myself because of that, not
Yeah.
because of the fame or the awards.
Right.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great because I
Yeah.
feel like in that case, your pride in being who you are comes
Yes.
from a different place.
Yes.
That's not money,
Exactly.
fame, cars,
exactly.
whatever that may be.
Yeah, the
which
right
is
way to put it.
a very healthy way to think about it.
Yeah.
Because not a lot of people.
Yeah.
I mean, there are. I'm sure
yeah,
plenty.
and they're not like yes sir, yes ma'am type of people
Right.
too. So they will let me know if all of a sudden
Uh-huh.
I went on the wrong way. They don't have any problem telling me anything.
That's good.
Yeah,
You need those
which is
people.
good. I love that.
Right.
I love that.
So let's fast forward a little bit. So then you grew up acting. You were doing music. You're doing the soundtrack for the drama.
Yeah.
And then you started putting out, I guess, like albums.
Yeah.
And what was that process like? Did you you're a prolific performer and artist, right?
I mean, I think when I was 14, I've already put out like 4 albums.
Oh my gosh.
I think 3
Did
or
you
4
write
albums.
those? Or
No,
were those-
no. I think I wrote like 1 or 2
Right.
songs.
Like what was like 14-year-old Agnez singing about? Like
I guess I already sang about love, but it was naive.
Right. Young puppy love.
Young puppy love.
Right. Which is
Which
needed.
is good.
It's needed.
Which is what I need right now.
That's what we all
Like,
need. It's what we all need.
I feel like I love fairy tales,
Yeah.
love story. I think we all need that.
We do.
You know?
We do.
But yeah, I think when I was 14, 15 years old, that's when I started to get exposed to a lot of different, music,
Mm-hmm.
I guess. Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, of course, the usual pop stars.
Right.
And Brandy and Lauryn Hill.
Oh, so like more the
So
R&B.
more like the R&B side. The first R&B album that I listened to was Brandy's first album. I think it was in 1994.
Okay.
And I had a whole different appreciation for R&B genre, and Sister Act movie.
That's such a good movie. Yo, time out. I started rewatching that on Netflix the other day.
Yes.
And I was like, dang.
We just had like
This is such a good movie.
binge watching session, Sister Act 2 and Sister
love
Act 1
that
and Sister
movie.
Act 2. And this is what I told my fans all the time. That it's actually like, what are the odds to that? I was in Indonesia, literally thousands of miles away from the United
Right.
States. Internet wasn't
Not-
how it is
nope.
now, right? So I
Had a VHS.
Yes. And then it was played in, I think it was at a choir class at my school.
Okay. So you watched it at school.
At school.
That's how you got
And there were
introduced to it.
like 10, 12 kids of us there. Because nobody wanted to join choir. I'm kidding. But it was just 10, 12 kids of us. And I was there watching it. And I remember that was like talking about turning point. I think that's like a different turning point of my life when my perception of music and what I love
Yeah.
about music's changed.
From that movie.
From that movie,
Wow.
because I got introduced to, His Eyes on the Sparrow,
Joyful.
Joyful.
Oh man, that song to this day
yeah, to
gets
this
me
day.
like triggered. I'm like joyful,
And-
joyful. Lord, we adore thee. Oh man.
Yeah, and then I think other than the His Eyes on the Sparrow scene,
Yeah.
there was one scene in the class when I think Whoopi was like, "Oh, you have to say this if you wanna." If you wanna somebody, if you wanna go somewhere, if you wanna, but don't wake up and pay attention. Yeah,
Yes.
right. And that's when I realized, wow, music is fun.
Yeah.
Like, music can be soulful.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Like, I just connected so well to that movie.
Right.
It really changed. Oh shit! I actually like that genre of music. Because before that, I was only exposed to pop music.
Britney, Christina,
and
who are also influenced by those sounds.
Of course.
By the way, yeah.
But I also grew up singing at church, so of course, like I've always listened to gospel songs,
Right.
but not like
That.
what was being presented in that movie.
Right.
And I think that really changed my life if you think about it, because
Okay.
now the way I write, the genre that I love to do, it all stems from that movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm so glad we talked about that. Because I also love that movie. And I was always upset. I was like, I wish I could sing like that. I can't. I wish I could. I just can't. But okay, so you put out albums, and then like now you're living in LA.
Yeah.
Are you here full time?
Yeah, full time. But I mean, I always go back and forth for shows. But yeah, this is my home now.
What was, I guess, another turning point, right? What got you to say, I'm going to LA, I'm going to live here, I'm going to move here,
Yeah.
and I'm going to do music here? What was the biggest deciding factors for you to make those decisions? Because they're not easy to make.
They're definitely not easy. I think when I was 19 years old, I was that year I got awards both in music and also in acting. So I got, best singer, best album, but at the same time I also got award for best actress. And I think at the end of that year, we held a press conference. I totally forgot how that happened, but one of the press asked me, hey Agnez, what else do you want in your life? And as a 19-year-old girl, I was like, wait, what do you mean what else do I want in my life? Like I'm just trying to live my life and live to the fullest. But it really got me thinking. And out of, I guess spur of the moment, I said I want to win my first Grammy.
Oh.
I want to go international. I really want to introduce my music to the world and get to know more.
Right.
But I didn't realize that it created such a huge controversy.
Really?
Back in my country. Not everybody, because a lot of them were rooting for me. Ag, you can do it.
Right.
It's really great for you to have big dreams. But there are also a bunch of people who said, oh, Ag, you're not going to make it because you're just an Indonesian. And for me, that was the biggest diss.
Right.
Because what are you talking about? Just because I'm from Indonesia, I can't make it. Just because I'm Asian, I can't make it, And what's sad about it is that it actually came from those people are Asians too.
Right.
So, and again, not everybody were like that, but certain group of people were like, you ain't gonna make it, right? What started off as a spur of the moment, it actually became my motivation. It actually became my fuel to really make it happen. That's when I started to, put out more music in English. I didn't grow up speaking English.
Right, which is mind-blowing because it's so good.
Thank you. But I didn't grow up speaking English. I started speaking English, I think when I was like 14, 15 years old. But it was like at school. So it wasn't like I speak the language every day.
It's like, hello, teacher.
It's like, hey, teacher, hi, how are you? My name is Agnez Mo. I am from Indonesia. You know what I mean? Like it was
Very
more like that,
things.
really basic. But I mean, to be fair, it's not really basic because it's national plus school. So we have, teachers from the U.S., from Australia. But still, it's school. It's not like everyday life.
Right.
So Then I started to make a list of, the things that I'm supposed to do if I want to make it here. And I took, English classes. I took Japanese classes. I actually took Korean language classes too before. Just because I feel like, you know what? This is the right time for me to
just learn everything.
Right? Just learn everything. And then in 2009, I got invited to Asia Song Festival in Korea.
Yeah.
And then I sang there, and they gave me an award too. I think because they gave an award for each country in Asia. So I had, so they awarded me 2 years in a row. I think it was 2009 and 2010, and I got this amazing opportunity to sing in front of thousands of audience in Seoul Stadium, that World Cup Stadium or whatever.
Yeah, huge.
Yeah, it's huge. And I guess that's when people started to see oh shit, she's actually making it happen. She's being real about it. In 2010, I got invited to the Clark Productions office, America's Music Award. I was a co-host of the red carpet there. Of course, some people were like, oh, it's only the red carpet of America. Whatever, dude. You know what? Whatever, right? And I just try to focus on the things that I was supposed to do.
Right.
And I guess Timbaland found me on, I don't know, YouTube or whatever. And they reached out to my management. We talked about it. And that's when I started working together with him and also his team.
Okay.
And that's when the door kind of opened up because when I was preparing myself for a bigger audience, I compiled this huge pink folder of all the names that I wanted to work with, and the first name was Timbaland's name. So it was just kind of like, oh shit, this is full circle.
It's God's sign.
It's God's sign.
It's divine providence.
Yeah, it's God's sign. And then I was there, and I was like, God, this is amazing, because this is so much bigger than myself, and I always look at my career, not just for me, but it's also for, little kids who have dreams, who
Right.
have crazy dreams,
Right.
you know, for my country.
Right.
For people who are quirky and nerdy and they feel like they don't belong anywhere, because I was like that. I
Yeah.
felt like that sometimes,
yeah.
you know, and I want to be kind of like, I want to represent that. But yeah, I mean, I guess that's kind of like the turning point
That's
for me
incredible.
to
Yeah.
really like, you know what, I think I need to just move here and work with more people who understand, or I guess not understand, but who could introduce me to more things.
Right.
Yeah.
A new world.
Yeah,
in
a
many
new
ways.
world. Yeah.
Cool. I mean, by the way,
Yeah.
Timbaland.
Yeah.
So I have a song with Timbaland as well
Yeah.
that I put out 2016.
Okay.
And so did you go to Jam Factory to like
Yes,
in Miami?
Miami. Oh my God.
Let's talk about that real quick. When I first walked in, I was like, "Oh my
Yeah.
God, it's Timbaland!"
Exactly.
And I had I was like, cool," but inside I'm freaking out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Like, what was that moment like for you?
I guess it's kind of the same thing because his face was literally in my folder, like the first page.
Right.
So when he came inside the studio and he was like, "Hey, what's up, Ag?"
You're like, "Oh God, oh my God."
I was trying to play it cool. I was like, "What's up, Tim?"
Sup,
And
man?
I was like, "I'm about to die." But no, yeah, but I mean, he's cool. He's
Yeah.
super chill. And now everybody's just calling me Ag, AG. But I feel like the first person who ever called me Ag or AG is Timbaland.
Really?
Hey,
That's
what's
awesome.
up, Ag? I'm like, that's me. That's that. Yeah, that's me.
Hi.
Right.
Yes, I am. Ag.
Hey, Tim, what's good?
Oh man. So that's incredible. So you've been in LA for a few years now.
Yeah.
Notably, we have to talk about that you've been doing a lot of collaborations,
Yeah.
particularly with Chris Brown.
Yeah.
You had a song with Tim,
Yeah.
T.I.
Yeah.
And let's talk about your management as well.
Yeah.
Who are you rep by right now?
UTA.
UTA.
Yeah,
Okay.
UTA. So Mike's my agent. It's basically UTA.
Right.
UTA is my agent.
And then do you have your manager? Was it Johnny?
No.
Okay.
So I'm with UTA right now.
Okay, so everything is
yeah,
UTA.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay,
I'm with
cool.
Mike right now. Yeah.
Nice.
So that's but yeah, I mean, I guess it's just a matter of man, if I mean, I'm pretty sure you also know this. When we think about the team, it's only as good as you believing in yourself. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I learned over the years that just because this name is bigger than this one, or this one has this artist in their roster or whatever, right? It doesn't mean that this one is gonna be the right fit for me, you know, because again, it's kind of like dating if you think about it. It's like a
Right.
relationship,
It
right?
is.
And I think that's the reason why I still have my brother as my manager as well, because it's a relationship thing. Like
It's
it
trust.
it's trust. It's communication.
Belief.
It's yes.
A lot of it,
Yeah,
yeah.
a lot of it. And I want to have a team who will. Who moves at the same pace.
And backs you no matter what.
Yeah, and backs you no matter what.
Right.
Because I don't like it when, okay, let's just have her here while she's here.
Right.
What about, and we all know that our career is not always here. Like
Right.
there's
We have ups and
always
downs.
ups and downs. But then I want to have someone who I can call, you know what, not only you're my agent, you're my manager, but you're my family. And I think that's how I was raised, and it's
Right,
always been
right,
like
right.
that. So a sense of belonging and that loyalty has been I think the most important things in my
Right,
life
right,
and my
right.
career.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, I'm curious, like coming to LA, choosing to live here, choosing to build a life and career here was probably a difficult decision.
Yeah.
But then once you're here, it had to have been a very difficult transition.
Yeah.
Like a lot
For
of things
sure.
working against you, not
Yeah.
only you, but just Asian American people
Right.
in general, just because
Right.
we're not yet well represented in
That's so true.
particularly music.
That's so true.
So-
and I'm not saying that that it hasn't changed. I guess it has been improving.
Right.
But you're right. Like, we haven't really been well represented, because I remember when I went to, certain sessions, I guess, when they looked at me and my body type isn't the way that they thought it's supposed to be. Or, oh, you're too this, you're too that,
right.
where you're not this enough, you're not that enough, you know what I mean? I don't fit into that stereotypical, that stereotype, I guess. Right. People would look at me thinking that I don't got it because of my body type.
Right.
Or like because of my skin tone, or because I'm not whatever enough, right? But I just, after like a couple of years, I felt like, you know what? Fuck it, because every single time that I go into that vocal booth, I change their mind.
Yeah.
They're like, oh shit. I'm like, oh shit. Right there. Thank you.
That's great.
But it kind of like what my agent told me. It's humble flex.
Humble flex. I like that. I'm gonna use that from now on.
It's humble flex.
It's a humble flex.
Because you don't want to, you don't want to be cocky.
You're right.
But you know what you got.
You know you're good.
You know what I mean? You know you're good.
You gotta be confident.
And there's a reason why you're here to begin with.
Right.
Why you've achieved what you've achieved. And if we surrounding ourselves with the wrong people.
Yeah,
then
it'll
affect you. But that's the reason why I feel like being picky at who you hang out with and the producers or the songwriters or the just people in general who are positive.
Right.
You know what I mean? Whose intention is always
for you,
good and for the better, right? I think that's the key.
Okay.
Really.
Did you ever have a moment where you're like, man, maybe I should just go back to Indonesia?
I feel like we're the citizens of the world now,
there you
right?
Go, yeah.
I feel like even when we live in LA or New York or Japan, Korea, Indonesia, I feel like we're part of the world now. It doesn't really matter where you live. I just live in LA because I fucking love the weather and the beaches. I mean, like, and it's less pollution. So
true.
So true. That's why I'm here.
I love that you just own that, because I think for me, I was born and raised in Atlanta.
Okay.
And I moved to Korea 7, 8, 9 years ago or so.
Okay.
And I went through such a hard time where like, maybe I should just go back. Because for so long, it's like I don't fit in there because I'm not fully Korean. But then musically, I don't have a spot here in the States because nobody will give us a shot.
Okay.
So it was like a weird in-between.
No, that's so true.
So I was just curious about that. But
that's so true. But it's
kinda,
actually the same thing with me, because, I mean, look at how I dress up, right? I don't fit into the Asian standard of beauty, right? Like I have to have long, straight hair, more feminine, and pale skin. I'm not saying that everybody's like that, but in general, that's what's preferred.
The traditional,
exactly.
Of what like the skincare beauty commercials will not look like what you look like.
I'm like, please don't put that lotion on me. I need myself tan and exotic.
Right.
But it's what it is, and we know that because you've lived in Korea. I've lived in Indonesia, where it's pretty much the same standard of beauty. Right. So when they look at me, I change my hairstyle all the time, and then I'm like, whatever, like.
By the way, you're looking great today. You have some great pieces on. I like your jacket, your chains. I love it. You're blinged out.
Yeah, but and people can misunderstand me for being not real. When I'm actually being real by dressing up like this.
As real as you can for yourself.
As real as I can be. Because this is what I feel. But, and again, but at the same time, me dressing up like this here, they appreciate it because they're like, oh shit, girl. I see you, you know what I mean? So I'm like, oh, thank you. But at the same time, of course, like the appreciation that I got from my country is amazing. It's enormous, and I always want to represent that diverse culture, right? I try to infuse some of the sounds in my music, a little like traditional dance called jaipong, and then I had like Balinese kecak dance as well. So I always try to infuse my country's culture into my music or my videos.
Okay.
And I think that's how I
put on for Indonesia.
Yeah, exactly. Like what you said, it needs to be well represented.
Right. Well, I mean, you've been doing a lot of music recently. Your latest single is Na Na Na.
Yeah.
But you've also recently had a single with French Montana called Diamonds.
Yeah.
Before that, you had songs with Chris Brown, and I heard you have a lot of songs with him.
Yeah, 8 to I think
just
it's
not
almost
released
10
yet?
songs. Yeah,
Okay.
they're not released yet.
What has it been like kind of navigating, working with different people, putting out collabs? Where do you want to go musically? Do you have the next goal for your music right now? Or
Yeah,
what are you
I
feeling?
think for the past few months, I think I have been the most honest these past few months.
With your
right,
music.
with my
Yeah.
music. And I no longer think about, not that I cared before. I don't know how to put it in a nice way and diplomatic way, but like I've always the kind of artist who gives a fuck, but I also don't give a fuck.
You want to do you.
I want to do me,
Yeah.
right? But this past few months have been the most authentic me
That's great.
with my music.
That's amazing.
I don't care about, you know what, if it's going to fit with my current existing fans or if it's going to fit with the today's world.
Right.
I don't think about that anymore. I
Right.
just do what I feel. And I remember that at the end of the day, I'm the one who's going to sing these songs on stage. So if I don't feel it, right? If I don't feel it, then the
Amen.
audience are not... Exactly.
Right there. I put out songs where they're like, you have to put this song out. I was like, I don't like it. Put it out. I'm never going to sing it.
Yeah.
I will not sing it out of the show. You will never hear it come out of my mouth other than when I recorded that song in the booth. It's not going to happen. So if you want to make money, you can try.
But I think you're
like,
kind of like me, though. I feel like you're not just, you know what I mean? I feel like that's more of a business strategy, which I get because a lot of times we have to wear different hats. Right. But I think as an artist, our soul has always been, man, I need to be able to say that, yeah, that's me right there.
Right.
When I say that I don't fuck with you, that's me saying I don't fuck with you. Or like if I say I love you, that's me saying I love you. And we need to embrace that. That's what makes us sane.
Right. I think that, but see, it's great because I think that decision making and that mentality comes with a certain level of experience and professionalism. You've got to that point. Yeah. And I think I've gotten to that point in the past year or two as well.
Right.
Where it's like there are songs in a concert where I'm like, I hate that song. Yeah. I won't say it out loud. Yeah. But they'll be like, I really don't want to sing this song.
We know.
But
we know which song.
And if I go to your show, I'm like, she did not like that song. I'll just
you know what's the worst? If we actually don't like the song, but it became
I know what you mean. Where you don't like the song, you didn't think much of it, but you ended up putting
all
it
of a sudden, exactly,
it hits the top of the charts. You're like, why?
I'm like, wait.
I'm thankful, but also I hate it.
That's like the worst feeling ever. Because then I'm gonna have to, how do we remix this?
Yeah, how do we not do this song ever again?
Exactly. How do we
avoid at all costs? Hit the panic button, run.
Exactly.
Oh man, no, I'm right there with you. So what do you have coming up next musically? Like, are you releasing more stuff? Or are you kind of playing around?
Yeah, because I've recorded. I think the past few months I've recorded. Probably about 20 songs in the past 2 months.
Wow.
And I think that's because I didn't think of anything. I just I was just in the studio,
Just writing.
trying to find me. And while we're talking about finding ourselves, I feel like there's a lot of misconceptions about, oh, let's go to Hollywood, and like
Right.
Hollywood has always been, oh, let's go to Hollywood, right? Especially for artists.
Right.
But I think the misconception has always been people trying to find themselves here, or their true selves here. When I think for me, not LA, but Hollywood is such an interesting place.
It's weird.
It is. I'm just trying to be diplomatic right here, but yeah, it is. It's weird. It's full of amazing people, but at the same time, amazingly weird people
Yes.
too.
That's a great way to put it.
And you could lose yourself here. So I think for me, it's so much better for people to find themselves first, then come here.
Right.
Because then when you already know yourself,
You're solid.
You're solid. You're not gonna be like swayed away by, oh shit, like this group of people told me that I'm whack, but then this group of people,
Right.
okay, should I try to just focus there, or should I try to change myself to get both? You know what I mean?
Right. You
But
know
then-
you.
Yeah, but when we know us, we know ourselves, that's not gonna be a
Doesn't matter.
problem. Yeah.
Right. Right. Cool. Man, I'm excited for all that new stuff coming out.
Yeah.
That's going to be great.
Yeah.
Let's talk about, we talked about it briefly before the show we started talking.
Yeah.
A, podcasts.
Yeah.
B,
Yes.
B, just like as, this is a personal thing for me in terms of just being Asian or Asian American.
True.
And identity.
Yeah.
Here, working here.
Yeah.
We briefly touched on it.
Yeah.
But what do you hope or what do you see happening in the industry here right now?
I feel like we're so diverse, I feel like we shouldn't be categorized as, oh, these are Asian Americans, right? Or like these are Asians. We're just people, period. Either you have the talent or you don't.
Right.
Right? Just like any other country.
Right.
And I think with social media right now, it helps us a lot to introduce our shit
Right.
to the world. And so, before, whenever I watched movies, the Asians are always the nerds, right? They're always the nerds, the quirky, computer geeks, which is fine because we're hella smart. So,
Yeah, thank you.
represent.
Thank
I mean,
you.
we got brains, but but at the same time, we're more than that.
Yeah. We're so diverse.
Like
We have
we're
so many
so
stories, yeah.
diverse. We have amazing artists. We have amazing dancers.
Right.
Our music we're so rich. In sounds, cultures,
Everything.
in
History.
outfits,
Yeah.
history. And like what you said, it hasn't been really well represented. So if I meet a person who don't know that, like, we actually got it, oh shit, like, I don't know that you have that kind of swag.
Right,
or, I don't
right.
know, I didn't know what, because you thought that, just because we're Asians, like, we don't have swag or what, and I'm not saying everybody's like that, but there are some people, and I don't think they're ignorant. I just feel like, again, they haven't been introduced.
Right. They're not yet educated
They're not yet,
on how cool we are.
Exactly.
That's what it is.
It's what it is.
That's what it
We're
is.
the cool kids.
We are the cool kids.
With
We're
brains
the-
too. Like, come on, man. What else do you want?
I love that. I love that. Podcasting. So thank you for coming on the show, first of all.
Yeah, thank you for. I mean, I love this. Real conversation.
I'm having a good time. I hope you're having a good time.
Yes.
Would you ever do your own show? We were talking about it briefly, but you're
So my agents were talking to me about it. Like,
Yeah.
Ag, I think you should do podcasts. I feel like it would give you a huge platform to really
Right.
talk about
Anything you want.
anything, right? I don't know. And I remember when I got interviewed by Joe Coy.
Oh, yeah.
Which is like, shout out to Joe. He's an amazing stand-up comedian.
He
And
is.
he's just an amazing
He's
person.
hilarious.
So shout out to Joe. But Joe was like, you really need to make your own podcast or a show called Monday, like Mo, but like Monday,
Mondays.
like Monday. So I'm like, you know what?
Maybe you should.
Maybe I should. But then he was like, trademark. I'm like, shit, Joe.
We'll come
Now I
up with
have
a better
to pay
one.
you to get my own show.
No. No, that would be good. That would be awesome, and I would listen to it. I mean, I feel
Yeah.
like I haven't spoken with you
Yeah.
much,
Yeah.
but you're incredibly you're very well spoken.
Thank you.
By the way, your English is not your first language, which is crazy to me. It's mental. And here's the other thing, though. So
Yeah.
I watched some other interviews and I read some stuff, and you're like, I'm an introvert. Are you sure you're an introvert? Because you do not seem like an introvert
So
at all.
I am an introvert. I feel like there's a thing called outgoing introvert. So I
called
process
extrovert?
no, because I process everything internally. And I process everything internally, feelings and everything. I need my me
Alone time.
my alone time. I don't like meeting strangers. This is different. I get to talk about things that I really like. That's personal to me,
Right.
and also because I feel like you're an amazing human being, and you're
thank
open.
you.
You're open to listening
Yeah.
to my side of the side of my story, right? My side of my story. Whereas, I feel like extroverts, they're just people person in general. Like, strangers, they can talk to strangers.
Yeah.
I'm like, even until right now, I still get nervous talking to strangers. I'm
Really?
like, I don't know what I should talk about. That's the reason why I keep my circle tight, and
people.
it's just
Okay.
3 or 4 people of us.
Well, I would never be able to tell. I'd say that. We're gonna start wrapping it up slowly.
Yeah.
I got a few lighter, just easy questions for you. The best concert you've ever been to, personally, as a fan.
Ooh, that's hard. I think it was Beyonce, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where did you see her?
It was in Indonesia.
Oh, really?
So I never really watched live performances like that. But for Beyonce, I kind of had to. I had to.
Yeah.
And I love her, but I feel I respect her more because of, her work ethic and the way that she handles, her problems is never really out in public.
Right.
Because we never know. People are not perfect. I'm pretty sure, she got her shit going on and she had her problems. But I feel like she's always been really meticulous about...
Very professional.
Very professional. Right. And I feel like she's never failed us as a performer.
Oh,
she
hell
always
no. Every time I was like, holy crap! How?
She just had a baby.
Beyonce, how? Was that a real baby? They were twins? What do you mean? That's crazy.
Oh my god! So I don't know. I feel like B is right there. Yeah,
yes.
she's amazing.
Absolutely. Okay, so I go on tour starting January.
Okay.
I'm doing almost 40 cities in January through March. One of my first shows is going to be in Jakarta.
Oh wow! Really?
Yes. So I need some know-hows.
Yes.
Give me some phrases.
I'm gonna text you all the restaurants that you have to go
please.
to. Oh my god! And if I'm in Jakarta, I'm there. You already know.
Oh, please do there, or I'll be in LA too in March. So either one.
Yeah, either one.
But how do you say everybody scream in Jakarta
Man, how do we say that?
in Indonesian?
Okay, we say semuanya
Oh no.
teriak, but semuanya teriak. I mean that's
Semuanya
not.
teriak.
No, that's really. That's not daily conversation.
Wait, how do
though.
I be cool? How do I say something when I'm just freaking cool, on stage? Where be like, he knows.
You know how to be cool? You say this. Aku
Aku suka
Agnez.
Agnez. Wait, what? Does that mean I love Agnes? Aku suka Agnes. People are like, what? I'm not at. Where Agnes is here? Get me I want to go to her show, not yours.
No, I mean you asked me how to be cool in Jakarta.
Okay. Aku suka Agnes.
Yeah.
That's it. You guys. They're like, what?
They're like, yay! We love her too!
I know. Wait, we want to hear her, not you. Get off!
No. No, but they love you though.
Oh man,
I
I'm
think
excited.
when I posted that IG story today, my fans were like, "Oh my gosh, yes!
Really?
You talk to him right now." Like, and I'm like, "Yeah, we
We're
are
gonna
about
do
to.
it,
We're
yeah.
gonna do it."
No, I'm so
Yeah.
excited. All right, and we have like one last little corner here. So, a lot of people may or may not know this. Your fans, I'm sure, know this. You actually changed your name from Agnez Monica to
Yeah.
Agnez Mo, which isn't a big change.
No,
you
it's
just
not.
kind of changed the S to a Z.
Yeah,
And some celebrities actually change their names a lot.
yeah.
So these may be a little too easy for you, right? But we're gonna give you some celebrity names, and you have to figure out if it's their real name or their stage name.
Oh shoot. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. First one, Beyonce.
Real name.
That is correct.
Yeah, Beyonce Knowles.
Stevie Wonder.
Real name.
Fake.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know this
From
till
what?
today.
Steven Wonder? From what?
No, his real name is Steveland Judkins.
Wait, what?
I didn't know that till right now
how
either.
do you even spell that?
Steve Land, like
Oh, like Steve Land?
like Tomorrowland or like
What?
Disneyland. Steve
don't
Land.
know that.
He has an entire land named after him. It's Steve Land.
Shoot.
And his last name is Judkins. I didn't know.
I mean,
Now
it's,
we
it's
know.
like, it's pretty similar, Judkins
it's not
and
too far.
Wonder.
All right, Angelina Jolie. Ooh.
I mean, come on, it gotta be real.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's real.
Yeah, it's real.
Keanu Reeves.
Damn.
Uh-huh. Got real quiet.
By
in
the
here.
way, he's still so hot. He's like
dude.
like 50 years old, right?
If I look like Keanu Reeves when I'm 50,
like, how
I'm
do
living.
you
I'm
you
good.
I
He's
mean,
vampire. He's drinking like vampire blood, and he's just doing all
oh
that
my
stuff.
god. I think he was like dating somebody, like the new girlfriend or whatever, and then it became like a huge news. And I was like, I didn't even hear the news. Like I didn't even.
You're just like,
I was
wow.
just like, wow, Keanu, you were like. But okay, what was the question? You know what? I don't. Oh shoot! Real name. Come on, real name.
It is real.
Okay,
you got
real
it.
name, all right.
We went on a little detour there. Keanu, Agnes is a big fan.
Oh my God, Agnez Mo Reeves. I mean, that sounds kind of nice too. You know what I mean?
Hey, I can support that. Can I be at the wedding? Can I get an
Can you
invite?
sing?
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
Of
Can
course.
you sing at the wedding? Yes.
Yeah,
Thank
we'll,
you.
We'll do Joyful, Joyful.
Yeah. I mean, he just doesn't know it yet.
He doesn't know
He
it yet.
doesn't know it
We're
yet.
putting it out to the universe. All right, next one. This is fitting. Whoopi Goldberg. Whoopi Goldberg.
I don't think it's real name.
Yeah, it's fake. What do you think her real name is?
Shoot.
Sharon Jenkins, Lisa Minnelli, Sally Greensmith. Probably, right?
Tina some-
Turner. Wait, that's a real person. Sorry. Tina Montgomery.
So Tina Turner's.
Is she
real
like right
name-
here? Is she
no,
like
Tina Turner's real name
is
is
Whoopi Goldberg? I mean, you never know. You never know.
Oh my God! I'm having too much fun, guys. Like I'm laughing too much right now.
Oh man.
I don't know.
All right, get ready for this one. It's
What?
gonna throw you left field. Her real name is Karen Elaine Johnson.
Wait, but why?
But that's her real name, and that's probably why they're like, we need you to stand out. We're going to go with Whoopi Goldberg. I love you, Whoopi.
Yeah, I
think
love
she's great.
you. I love you. Sister Act 3.
Sister Act 1, 2, and 3.
Manifest that into the world. Whoopi, we're gonna Sister Act 3. Yeah.
I can play the little choir boy. I volunteer as tribute. I'll do that. All right, last one. Elton John.
Fake name.
You totally just guessed on that.
Yeah.
But you're right.
Really?
You have a good sense. His real name is Reginald Kenneth Dwight.
That sounds so.
Said just like that. Reginald Kenneth Dwight. That's how you have to say his name.
Yeah, that sounds fitting.
We're being very diplomatic. No, it's a great name.
Yeah, it is.
Reginald.
Reginald.
Would
It's
you-
really like royal.
It's very, yes, royal.
Reginald.
Sir Reginald Kenneth Dwight. Anyways.
I mean, the way you say it too, though.
Well, it sounds weird here, but in London, that's how they probably say it, right?
Reginald.
Reginald. And on that note, we're going to wrap up the show. Thank you so much to Agnez
Thank you.
for joining us on I Think You're Dope, because I think you're quite dope.
I think I am too. I think we're dope.
I think we're both dope.
I love it. I love this.
Thank you for joining us, really, for making time.
Thank you for the real conversation.
Absolutely. Anything we can look forward to? Where can people find you on socials? Anything you want to talk, like whatever?
Social is the same. Agnez Mo, AGNEZMO. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and all the other 10 social media platforms. No, only those 3.
You're not on TikTok yet. You don't.
I mean, I am on TikTok, but man, there's so many.
I wish there was one app that could just publish to all.
Exactly.
I will pay for that.
You know what? Talking about startup, we should come up with that.
We should. Don't take that idea, anybody. We will sue you. We will come after you. All right? Don't you dare. All right.
But yeah, I mean that and more, more album. I'm actually trying to put out 2 EPs next year. Sheesh. And also a worldwide tour. That's what my agents told me. So
surprise!
Surprise! You're doing worldwide tour next year. I'm like, got it. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining us. If you could recommend one person to join us on this podcast, who would it be?
Oh, Joe Coy, for sure.
Okay.
For sure, because he's really smart. So other than he's really funny, he's really smart. He's so humble, and I think talking about Asian Americans or Asians that we are, and diversity.
Right.
I feel like he would be the perfect one for that.
Well, we might have to hit him up.
Yeah.
We might have to ask you for an intro.
I'll text him for sure.
Amazing. Thank you. Well, thank you everybody for listening in to I Think You're Dope. We just had Agnez Mo on the show. Please be sure to subscribe and follow us on all of our accounts. And leave us a great rating and review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify,
5
wherever
stars.
you listen. 5 stars. 10 if you can.
Yeah.
You can make multiple accounts and give us 15. 3 accounts?
3 accounts.
3 reviews?
I mean...
Sounds so easy. Anyways, could you improvise a quick outro jingle for us?
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, anything.
What it's...
The show's called I Think You're Dope, and it's just like, just make up anything. Like it's an outro jingle. Like a little melody, or you could just be you screaming, whatever you want.
I think you're dope. I think you're dope. I think you're dope. I think you're dope. I think you're dope.
Now she's just showing off. Now we really have to cut it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey guys, did you guys like that video? Then make sure you guys subscribe to Dive Studios YouTube channel and put your notifications on, because we got a lot more great content coming your way. Look at this video. See? Wow. And this is great too. Enjoy.